just a word, so you mean what?
Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So this video is about going green, my journey, and it's just kind of like a starter video to the series that I kind of want to start. You can expect videos kind of like sporadically. It might be like next week I'll do a Disney video again, but then the week after that I'll do another green video. So just, you know, keep an eye out. There will be a playlist for my Going Green series, and just like there is for my Disney stuff. And this video basically is me, why I want to go green all of a sudden, because this is a newer development in who I am, and what I'm going to do to kind of start, you know what I mean? Because you can't just do it all at once. It's very difficult to just kind of quit cold turkey every single thing you're doing. So these are just kind of a few starter tips that I've started to work on that maybe you can take from this, and then later on I'll give you the down low on how I plan on making my bathroom more green, my kitchen more green, my bedroom more green, if that's a possibility. I don't know that it is. And I'm even going to try to do a Disney green crossover and try to give you kind of some tips on how to stay greener in the parks, which is very easy at Animal Kingdom because they are all about that. So let's get started with this video. So I started going green because I just heard so much about I was involved in FCA at Auburn, and one of the things that came up quite a few times was a prayer request for South Africa because of their lack of water. And it's been like this for a while, but that doesn't make it any better. They don't have water, and any water they do have kind of goes towards tourists, and that just bothers me. I don't know, like, I've never been a tourist there, but at the same time, like, I don't know that I could take water from locals that, you know, need it more than I do. So that just kind of hit my heart really, really hard, and ever since then God has kind of put Africa on my heart to, like, try as much as I can to help, even if it is from far away, because I am in a place right now where I will be, you know, just starting on a new job, and I won't necessarily have, you know, the money to just like pick up and stop what I'm doing and go to Africa to help right away. So hopefully in like a few years I'll be able to do that, but as of right now I can just kind of help from afar. And I feel like apart from, you know, donating what you can as far as money's concerned, or supplies, which is also something I have definitely looked into and plan on doing, I also feel like it can start with going green. And I don't know where that like connection came from in my brain, but to me it just kind of like conservation and, you know, trying not to take advantage of all of the advancements that we all have in this world can, to me, is something that kind of helps with that. And I feel like going green is a part of that, because there is a lot of stuff that we just like, we take for granted, and we just kind of don't realize that that actually leaves a print on this earth. So I don't know if that made sense. I hope it did, but if it didn't, I totally understand. I hope you kind of see where my heart is at more so as I talk more through this video, because I don't think that I have the right words to just explain like this leads to this and this leads to this. But basically the drought in South Africa did kind of kickstart my heart to wanting to make sure that I don't take this world for granted. So there are a few places you can start. I have become a lot more conscious of using like plastic straws in restaurants. That's something that I have tried to deny, actually. Whenever they're like, do you want a straw? I'm like, no, thank you. Because plastic is waste, and that is what gets thrown into the environment and does not degrade, you know, naturally. So that's something that I've become aware of, is plastic in general. But little things like starting with the straws. If you're one of those people that like prefers drinking out of straw, because sometimes I do prefer drinking out of straw, I totally get that. Like, particularly if you have lipstick on, it is easier, or if you're drinking a darker drink and you don't want to get it on your teeth, I totally get that. What I would suggest to you is, because I am willing to like make that sacrifice, because I'm not someone that is usually that aware of those things anyway, mostly because I wear chapstick for lipstick. I do wear lipstick, but sometimes I just don't. Right now I'm wearing chapstick, but it's fine. Not the point. If you really feel the need to to use a straw, reusable straws are really, really good. These are really cool. I've always seen the metal straws, you know, and the like hard plastic ones that are reusable that you wash. But I came home one week and my mom had these, and I just thought they were really cool. They're rubber. They're flexible, so you can bend it and just like put it in your purse, if you need, like, for whatever, and so you can take them with you. I know it seems weird taking like a straw to a restaurant, but don't feel weird about it, because when people are like, excuse me, why, you can explain to them, and then maybe that'll, you know, bring awareness to it. So that's something that, you know, I really have looked into more. And another thing is, like, a small thing in the kitchen that you can be aware of is try to avoid using paper towels. That's something I've been struggling with because I do have dogs. So if something happens, like, you know, they accidentally throw up, or if they maybe pee on the floor, which really doesn't happen that often, they are older, but, you know, the one random time that it does, my first instinct is, of course, to use paper towels, because you can just throw them away. Well, paper is better for the environment, but it's still waste. It's still something that you're basically you're literally just throwing it away. So, you know, a tree died to make those paper towels, and you just kind of... And I get that it's easier, and I totally respect that. And like I said, it's hard to quit cold turkey. I still use paper towels sometimes. But a way to fix paper towels is, and I actually talked to my sister-in-law about this too, she said, because there are cloth towels, which is a very common replacement, but for your cloth towels that you want to use to like dry your dishes and, you know, not to pick up dog puke, some old rags or old t-shirts, old clothes that you don't use anymore that might be torn or something, or there's a stain on it that you just can't get out. Those are really, really good. Like, using stuff like that, reusing is a really big part of going green, recycling and stuff. So, you know, if you have a t-shirt that like you grew out of, or you just you were like, I don't need this anymore, I think I'm gonna throw it away, don't throw it away. Use it, you know what I mean? Keep it around to clean up those messier messes that you would normally use a paper towel for. And that's, you know, one way of saving a little bit of waste. So every little bit counts. That's another thing. Even if you make one change, it still makes a difference. So one thing is too, is I had a friend in Auburn, shout out Sierra. She was always very adamant about, whenever we would go to a national park or we would just hike or walk around, if she saw trash on the ground, she would pick it up, because her thing is like, people always complain about litter and it being all over the place, but nobody does anything about it. So like, I totally get if you don't want to pick up like a soggy towel, like a soggy napkin that you don't know where it's been. Totally get that. But, you know, when you can, and if you feel like you're not going to be contaminated, I would say, you know, pick up the trash. If there's usually, what's so bad about it too is that there's usually a trash can like 5 feet away, and the person just kind of... So just, you know, like, do what you can. You don't have to do that. There are people who do that too, like, as their job. But, you know, if you see it and you think about it, do it. Like, it really does make a difference. It really does help. That's something I try to be more conscious of too, because I'll just be walking and I don't even realize it sometimes that there's even anything on the ground. But other times I'm like, litter. So that's, you know, and that was also something that really kickstarted this whole thing too, is, you know, it's waste. There's like a few other things that you can do as far as like reusing. So instead of getting like water bottles, plastic water bottles from the store in like the big cases, get a reusable water bottle and just fill it up. And if you're one of those people that can't drink tap water and that's why you buy the plastic water bottles, get a Brita filter, because yes, it is, yes, they're expensive like right off the bat, but then they last you for a really long time. And the filters do cost more, but it's no different than buying that big pack of water every day. And it saves waste, and you can just pour it into your water bottle and go. And another thing that is good for reusable is reusable coffee cups. If you take them to coffee houses and ask for them to use those instead of the cups that they have, sometimes it offers you a discount for it. So it can be cheaper to be green. It's almost always cheaper, actually. Even just by a little bit, it's usually cheaper. Sometimes it is more expensive, and I get that, and that's part of why it's really, really hard to just stop and completely go green. But for the most part, there's a lot of that will save you money. Like, you won't have to buy paper towels every time you go to the store if you have rags and shirts and towels that you use. So there's all kinds of tips and tricks that you can begin with. Reusable coffee cups, reusable water bottles, dish rags and dirtier rags for those messier messes, and reusable straws or just no straw at all. Those are the things that I kind of look for. So I've become so much more aware of all of this stuff, and there's so many more things you can do. You have no idea. Some of them are easier, some of them are a little more difficult, but I feel like they're worth it. And if they're not to you, then that's fine. Like I said, this is not a calling you out, trying to judge you kind of situation. It's just kind of explaining where my heart is on the situation. So I really hope you enjoyed these few little tips that I've given you so far. Please expect more in the future, because you will get a bunch. I am going to do a, you know, making my bathroom green and making my kitchen green video, separate videos. So there's going to be a lot more videos on this topic, and I cannot wait to film those. My only dilemma is I'm not sure if I'm going to wait until I'm down in Disney to film those or not, so just kind of keep an eye out. Like I said, there will be a playlist specifically for my going green videos, so you can get a hold of those easier. So I'm really excited about this little transition in my life, and it's become something that like everyone's kind of like, what kickstarted this? And so yeah, I'm just explaining that to you here, and a little bit of the tricks that I'm taking into right now, and I cannot wait to explain the rest of my tricks that I've learned later on when I can actually execute those. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Please let me know anything that you would like to know about personally in the comments below. I'd be happy to add those to any of my videos, whether it be going green or Disney or just life, blogging, anything really. I pretty much love anything that's creative, so feel free to ask me any questions. Again, I just really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you thought in the comments. So yeah, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
And love isn't love till you give it away. We've all got to give, yes, then a gift to make.
Like I said, you can't just quit cold turkey and just start being green.